What's up, fellas? Lady fellas, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. We got another Yu-Gi-Oh! News video dropping today. And it looks like today we got, quote-unquote, Psycho Jump has blown the lid on key cards for Infinite Ignition. So, that right there is what we're talking about today. We got, what, 5 new cards? Right? I'm gonna say 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, cool. We got 5 new cards for Infinite Ignition, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So these are the Infinite Ignition is one of the 3 new archetypes coming out in Infinity Chasers, the new deck build pack, and this is like the monster that was on the cover of the box or pack or whatever. So I'm assuming the boss monster is 3100, so he's probably a boss monster. Let's read him first. His name is Infinite Ignition Earth Shaker. He's a rank 9 Earth Machine. Okay. His attack is 3100, defense 2100, materials any 2 level 9 monsters. Keep that in mind. That's kind of weird. That's kind of spicy. We are just getting all that support in Dark Neostorm with those multiple level 9 monsters that help get themselves on the board. They ruin link heavy boards, so on and so forth. So this is really, really interesting right out the gate that he's kind of generic, works with True Kings, so on and so forth. Let's get started with these effects though. The first and third effects are hard once per turns. The first effect says you can attach any number of materials from this card, then target an equal number of cards on the field and destroy them. That's pretty spicy. I mean, listen, it's targeting destruction, so it don't be what it do, but it targets any card, face up or face down. So this is back row and monster removal, and you can pop up to however many materials you take off. So, and you'll see here in a sec that can be more than 2, even if all you overlay is 2 monsters. So, really powerful removal there, and he's huge. Second effect, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach that monster to this card as material. That's actually really nice effect too, making it so... I mean, I don't know how this technically works, this ruling. If you destroy it, it doesn't say destroy and send to the graveyard, so does this take that monster as a material before it hits grave? If it does, you're stopping almost any floating effect, really. That needs to be sent to grave, then you're attaching it to itself, and if it needs to be sent from field to grave, it's not, because when you attach that as material, it's technically not on field. So I'm not sure how the ruling technically works for that, but this can definitely help keep stuff out of your opponent's graveyard. If it does just have value in general there, this can be nice to just take it, just equip it to yourself. So that's really nice. Also, it gives you a chance to, you know, pop up to 3 or more cards on your opponent's field, which is always good. Then the last card on the effect, this another hard one's return, says if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute any machine link monster to special summon this card in defense mode. That's kind of crazy. It does special in defense mode, so keep that in mind, that like you'd have to special him back in defense mode, then wait for next turn to flip him into attack mode. I mean, it's nice that you at least get a big body on board, you know what I mean, for protection. But obviously they didn't nerf it by forcing him into defense mode. Because if you could just summon him and then beat over something, like we have a link 1 in the archetype. You literally could just like make a link 1, special summon this guy back, beat over something, and then detach 1 to pop something, which is pretty strong as a little, you know, 1 card combo more or less. It takes a little bit of setup. But I do appreciate the nerf here, because otherwise this card is like so strong. Anyway, we also have a Link 3, which seems to be like the boss Link monster of the archetype, called Infinite Ignition Fortress Megaton Gale, which is a Link 3 Earth Machine. Nothing surprising there. 4,000 attack, which is a little surprising, because that is ginormous. This monster has bottom left, bottom right, and right arrows. And his materials are 3 Xyz monsters, any 3 Xyz monsters, which is kind of weird. I mean, the Xyz monsters so far seem to have effects they can get themselves back from grave, so that is how you could, like, you know, in a couple turns, you know, get some of these guys back on board without, you know, having to open up 3 zones and whatnot, because that's the tough part, right, with Master Rules 4. How do you open up all those zones to get that many Xyz monsters on the field at the same time? But bringing themselves back is probably how you do that the most efficient way. Anyway, as far as the effects go, the second effect is a hard once return. The first is not. This card is unaffected by the effects of monsters except Xyz monsters, and cannot be destroyed by battle except by Xyz monsters. These are pretty strong protection effects, considering currently in the meta, you could argue not a single deck really plays Xyz monsters. Maybe you could say Burning Abyss, but they don't play Xyz monsters that have like removal built in and stuff like that. They only have like, you know, Beatrice and Dante, which are like engine cards, more or less, engine monsters, not really removal of any kind. So this is really interesting. Also can't be destroyed. It's pretty good protection, honestly. I mean, obviously the spell and trap removal is still there to out you, but as far as monsters go, if you're playing a monster heavy deck that you pretty much uses utility monsters to remove stuff, as far as like the extra deck goes, Unicorn can't do it, Cerberus can't do it. How do they remove this card? So that's really interesting. Second effect says target one XYZ monster you control and one card your opponent controls. Special summon the first target. Wait, one Xyz monster in your graveyard. Did I say controls? Target an Xyz monster in your graveyard and one card your opponent controls. Special summon the monster from your graveyard, then place the second target under that monster as material. That is an insane effect, but half the damage inflicted your opponent for the remainder of the turn. So pretty much if you go into this card, it's probably game, because like you're probably like you use Xyz monsters to make him. You bring one back. You put it on. You put your opponent's monster on that, or any card. That could literally be a face down card. Oh my god, that is really strong. If you go into this card, the duel is probably over. But that's why this card takes 3 Xyz monsters. It's going to be tough to get out, take multiple turns. So that's the That's like the mitigating factor there. All right, we have another Xyz monster here. This time it's a rank 7 called Infinite Ignition Colossal Mountain. I love the names. These names are so regal, so cool. I love these. He is rank 7 Earth Machine, nothing surprising. 2100 attack, 3100 defense. So this is the opposite stats of the main guy. Materials, again, completely generic. 2 level 7s. Interesting. You can only use the first and third effects of this card's name once per turn. You can attach one material from this card. This card gains 1000 attack. Okay. All right. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach that monster to this card as material. Again, I'm not sure about the ruling. Same thing as the other card. That if you kill something, it doesn't say it has to go to grave first, so maybe right on destruction you could equip it before it actually hits the grave. I'm not too sure about how that would play out. But still, just getting yourself extra materials and keeping stuff out of your opponent's graveyard can always be good. And then the third effect says, if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one Machine Link monster to special summon this card in defense mode. So this card is obviously not as good as this one, but it's a rank 7, so it should be easier to make for the most part. But still, it also has that bring back effect, which can be huge in making this guy. Just being able to bring them back once per turn, make a new one, and then in 3 turns, hopefully you would have 3. And if you go into this card and it resolves, the duel's probably over, like straight up. So that's pretty good there. And then we finally have some main deck monsters, which is what I was waiting for the most. We have, because that's what's surprising to me so far. I mean, this is 3 here. We already had the 2 extra deck monsters. We have 5 extra deck monsters. Well, these are the only 2 main deck monsters we have so far. So I was expecting these. Let's see how good they are. First one is Infinite Ignition Rock Anchor. It's a level 4 Earth Machine, 1800 attack, 500 defense. Love that. Beat stick status. I love that in any archetype. For like simplified game states and such. Both effects are hard once per turns. First effect says, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Earth Machine monster from your hand in defense position. Okay. I mean, little just kind of marauding captain for the archetype. I like that. It cannot summon other copies of itself, which is kind of lame. I kind of wish it could, because then running 3 of it is not a worry, because if you open 2, you can just 1 into the other, make an Xyz, go on. But you can't do that, so that's weird. Second effect says target 1 machine monster you control except this card. Until the end of the turn, the levels of this card and that monster become equal to the total combined levels of those cards. Whoa, that's really interesting. See, that's pretty cool, because this guy down here, if I don't know if you notice, he's level 5. So pretty much if you use his effect on normal summon to special this guy from your hand, Then you activate a second effect, making them both level 9, and there you go. That's pretty much like those 2 cards in hand gets you this rank 9 guy on the field in 1 turn, and this card is kind of a threat, especially going second. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. We're going to need some more searching with the deck, because that's too much like handwork. We need some deck working stuff, but we'll see. But yeah, our level 5 here, Infinite Ignition Cancer Crane, name will probably change. Level 5 Earth Machine, 2100 attack, 500 defense, so nice and big there. Both effects hard once per turns. You contribute 1 Earth Machine monster you control to special summon this card from your hand to defense position. I do like that as well, just tributing something you control to get it on the field out of the hand. I mean, it's not crazy, it's not an amazing effect, but I like cards that can't get themselves out of the hand, especially cards that are higher level like this. It does have a way, at least, so not amazing, but I do like that it can get itself out of the hand, and it's not completely reliant on other cards like you know, Rock Anchor here. The second effect says you can banish 1 machine monster from your graveyard to add 1 Super Contact expansion from your deck to your hand. There we go. That's a little bit of searching that I'm looking for, because we have the Link 1 that can be made with any Infinite Ignition monster, I believe. So like, I don't know how many other monsters we get, but as long as you open this with a normal summonable one, you literally can just normal summon 1, link it away, special summon this guy by tributing the Link monster, and then you can banish the Link monster to search, or banish the other monster to search a Super Contact expansion. We'll see how good Super Contact expansion is. So I'm guessing this is just a 1 card, because it doesn't say a Super Contact expansion card, or a card that has Super Contact expansion in the name. So I'm guessing there's just 1. Hopefully it's powerful if it's searchable like this. But that makes this card so good, because like you tribute something to get it, so you went -1 there, but you also search right there, so then it makes up for that. And hopefully Super Contact expansion is good enough to warrant that card costing a tribute of another monster. But guys, let me know if you're a big machine player, if this works with ABCs, other machine archetypes, rank 10 trains, I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. I'm really curious. These guys look really cool. Personally, I'm a witchcraft kind of guy, and maybe even a cursed eye kind of guy. I'm not entirely sure yet. I still have a hunch that witchcraft is going to be the strongest of the 3, because they're saving it for last. Konami's not stupid. They're too big of a company to be stupid. I think if they're saving it for last, it might be the strongest stuff to hype us up a ton right at the end before the set comes out. But at least for now, I think both of the first archetypes aren't terrible. I mean, I think they're both cool. And this is really interesting here. So let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos from me, more news stuff as it comes out from me in the future. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace out.